everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video. And for today I'm going to be bringing you another vocal mixing tutorial in the style of Juice WRLD using the song Flaws and Sins. And yeah, let's get into it. So for the people who don't know the song, which I doubt there are a lot of people, here is what the song sounds like.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
So I'll just play that small part for you just so I don't have any big issues with copyright. Let me play the vocals by themselves.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
So yeah, let's get to breaking down the vocal mix, and let's start by having the vocals play without any effects.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
And the first thing I added was this EQ to just do some subtractive EQing in the mid region, take down some of the lows using a low shell filter, and boost a little bit of the highs. And this is what it sounds like.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
Doesn't really do much. The next thing I added was Fruity Limiter, and I use this as a compressor with the threshold at negative 21.7 decibels, the knee at 15%, the ratio at 3.0 to 1, and this is what it sounds like.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
The next thing I added was this transient processor to kind of take out the subtle background noises from the room he was recording in, and to do that I just took down the release to minus 17.5%. And for you to be able to at least hear the difference, I'll just move this around so you can kind of see the effect this has on the vocals.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper. Tell me your darkest secret, shit you wouldn't even tell Jesus.
It's not much, but one of the most important things to do before adding all the other noticeable effects. So the next thing I added was FabFilter Pro De-esser, and this basically softens down the harsh S sounds in the frequency region I've set over here. So it's basically between 7 kilohertz and 14 kilohertz.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
So the green areas right here, right, are where the S sounds are being softened down. So the next thing I added was this ambassador plugin to add more low tone to the vocals. So once again, without, this is what it sounds like.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
And this is what it sounds with the plugin.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
So that was the last of the unnoticeable plugins that I used for his vocals. Then the next thing is this Autotune. First thing I did was to set the key in here to be the same as the beat, and the input type is at alto tenor with the retune speed at 3, the flex tune at 9, the detune at 437.2 hertz, and the tracking all the way to 100. So this is what it sounds like.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
The next thing I added was this fresh air plugin to kind of boost the mids and the highs, and I've linked these together so they can move up and down proportionally. So when I take this up, this also moves proportionally. So let me take this back to 19, and this is what it sounds with the plugin.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
So the next thing I added was this reverb. Didn't really want to do much with it, so I kept the width level at 23%, the separation to stereo separation at 48%, the decay at 0.6 seconds. I turned on the tempo button, and the pre-delay is set to 1 to 17, and I EQ'd the reverb to have a low cut of 669 hertz and a high cut of 2.6 kilohertz. And this is what it sounds like.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
So the next thing I added was delay. Didn't really do a whole lot with it. The few things that I switched up from the default preset that opens up was to turn down the output to 10.3%. I changed the feedback filter to a high pass filter with the cutoff at 957.4 hertz. Doesn't have to be exact. And the level at 50.5%. The delay mode is at stereo, and I left this on tempo sync, and I put this up to 4, and this is what it sounds like.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper.
And then later on in the song, we have a section where there's a little bit too much reverb. I wouldn't say too much, but like it just works aesthetically. And the only difference from the main reverb is that this reverb has 73% of the width. In terms of the EQ, it has a low cut of 1670 hertz and a high cut of 7.4 kilohertz. And the decay is at 1.4 seconds, and those are the few things that I changed up for this section and made it sound like this.
I'm really all in love with all your flaws and sins.
So the last thing I did to make the vocals sit properly with the beat was to sidechain the main vocals to the beat and add this track spacer plugin on the beat. And this is to basically take down the volume in the frequency region where the vocals lie out of the beat. So it's basically like sidechaining with frequency. So let me play the beat and the vocals together and I'll explain everything that goes on with what you see.
Good sex, let the conversations get a little deeper. Tell me your darkest secret, shit you wouldn't even tell Jesus.
So basically this white line ducking down below this blue line, it basically shows how much the vocal is taking out of the beat in this frequency region. And the blue line over here just basically shows the vocals on top of the beat. Yeah, that was it for today's tutorial. And for the people who like to have this vocal mixing preset, you can have it down in my description section. And I have two projects with just the vocal mixing preset that I had, the original vocal mixing preset that I created here. And you'll also have a different project with just the FL Studio stock plugin. And I'll also save those vocal mixing states in there as just themselves, so you can just drag them and drop them into your vocal mixing track. And yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you in the next one.